So in this video we're going to show you how to mount a hub plate to a brake rotor. In this case it's a McLaren. It has ceramic rotors. Because of that you have to have a spacer. Most cars with ceramic rotors, late model Corvettes, Camaros, cars that have two-piece rotors, Brembo rotors such as Cadillac CTS V and Camaro SS's, and also the ZL11LEs. You have to have a spacer. The hub plate needs to fit flush against the mounting surface for the wheel. And because the rotor bolts stick out slightly on most cars with ceramic rotors, two-piece rotors, the way they're mounted, requires a spacer to space the hub plate out to clear the rotor, because you need it to fit flush against the surface the wheel mounts on to get an accurate reading. So we're going to use a spacer with some longer bolts, show you how to bolt it up, and you want to clean the surface of the rotor where the wheel mounts first. Make sure there's no debris or trash or gravel or anything like that, so you get a good surface. So we're going to show you now how to go ahead and mount a surface plate. It would be the same on all cars. I'm doing this on the garage floor for people that don't have lifts. I could have put this car on the two-post lift, mounted all four plates and lowered it down, but for the sake of example I'm showing you how to do one wheel at a time with nothing more than a jack on your garage floor. So here we go. Hang on. First we're going to clean the rotor hub surface. Make sure we've got a good mounting location. No debris on it. So we'll clean that off. I'm going to apply the spacer. This is a 15 millimeter spacer. Anything from 10 to 15 would probably be more than sufficient. You need to make sure the holes line up. This particular car uses wheel bolts instead of studs, so you need to make sure your holes are in line. The bolts for the hub plate have a washer, a beveled washer on it. So basically it fits on there. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to find the first hole, and we're going to go ahead and start this. As I find the hole. Oops. So there's the first hole. These have slots on them, so they're basically designed to fit any four-hole type setup. So you slide it up till you find the other hole. Make sure the washers are in the recess for the hub plate. You have to kind of maneuver it around, and then we'll eventually get it straightened up. So you want to make sure all five are secure and the washers are in the recess, so the hub plate basically fits where it needs to go. So we see here that the hub plate is in the washers. They don't have to be extremely tight. I'm just going to use a small impact. So there, the hub plate's secure. Also, this one has a locating pin for storage to keep it from swinging freely. It needs to swing free so when you go to adjust camber that the car can move back and forth, the suspension can move back and forth. So if your particular hub plates have some kind of locking device, you need to make sure the pin's set. Also, we measured the height from the bottom of the tire to the center of the tire, and we set this at that same height. The reason is we want the same front to rear angle, because typically on many cars like this, when the front sits slightly lower than the rear, might not affect camber much, but could affect your caster. So we're going to lower the car down with a jack. There's a stainless steel plate that's included with these hub stands, just so the rollers have a secure surface to roll on. The emergency brake's off. You need to make sure you have the emergency brake off on these cars so everything can rotate freely. And so now we're going to slowly let this car down and make sure we're centered on the plate and put the full weight. This one also has 8 rollers that roll free. It has 4 extras where if you want to lock this down and not have it roll, you can do it that way. We want it to roll free because we're going to do camber and tow on all 4 wheels in another episode. So we're going to lower the car down. This is just one wheel. We're not going to bore you with the other 3, but this is basically the way you would do it if you were doing it on a garage floor. So again, we're going to slowly let it down until everything's resting. Let me move this plate over just a little bit. No, that's pretty well set. Over there. Trying to center on everything. Actually, what I'm going to do, you see how it slid to the rear a little bit. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to move the plate it's on a little bit toward the back so it's centered. And that way it can roll freely. So there we go. So that's basically one wheel on the hub stand. We'll do the other 3, get everything set up, make sure everything's measured correctly, and in the next episode we'll show some alignment. We'll do camber first, and then we'll do tow. We'll do thrust angle with lasers, and we might do caster. This car you can't adjust the caster on. It's difficult to do lest you start shimming the lower control arms. The other thing I use, and these are available from Amazon, these hard rubber pucks. They're basically used by the heating and air business to level up air conditioning units and compressors. They're soft, they're hard rubber, they wear good. You can get a bunch of them on Amazon for a few dollars, but I use them on all my jacks to protect the bottom of the car. So again, this is how you mount it. We'll be back when we get ready to align. Thanks a lot.